for the 5th overall pick in the Divisional Round Six Pack, my 3rd pick, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns, plus 10 at BetMGM against the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is just a case of the number being too high. And you look at how these teams have played this year. Cleveland has lost 3, even with that negative point differential to, in the regular season. And
now they're at 0 exactly.
Yeah.
Through 17 games, which is really funny.
Yeah, so they got, it's a 0-point differential, but they've only lost 3 of their 17 games played this year by double digits. So it was a 38-6 game to the Ravens in week 1, 38-7 to the Steelers in week 6, and then 16-6 in one of those windy games to the Raiders in week 8. So second half of the season, Browns have not lost by double digits. And then you look at the Chiefs, and as good as they've been and as good as Andy Reid has been with more than 7 days to prepare, 40-27, 60% against the spread for his career, just 2-2 this year though. But as good as he's been in these type of spots, Kansas City just has not been covering as of late. They've been winning a lot of close games. Now, can they flip a switch? Maybe, but you're looking at a Kansas City team that you're looking at a Kansas City team from week 9 on, covered in just one of their 8 games, went 1-7 against the spread. They won by 2, 4, 3, 6, 6, 3, 3, and then, the last game of the year, I'm not going to count that, they lost by 17, but all of their wins coming by 6 or less over the second half of the season. So just looking at both of these teams and how they're playing, especially down the stretch, we've seen it with Cleveland, Pittsburgh, even with no coaching staff. You could just get breaks, and it's just hard to win by double digits in the playoffs. You look at the history of divisional round underdogs, and they are 39-27-1 against the spread since 2003, 59%. It's just really tough to cover a number this big. I have it around 9, and I still feel like there's some value here. It looks like some of our other experts have it even lower. So it looks like we're in agreement that it's just obviously Kansas City coming off a bye could blow them out. But I think median outcome, Kansas City wins by in single digits.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to end up playing the Browns here. If you can get 10, I'm waiting. I'm trying to figure out if it's going to go to 10.5 or not first. So I'm watching. And then once I feel like it's going to go to 9.5, I'm going to play 10. If 10.5 never pops, but I make this 8, and yeah, that's adjusting for the bye and for Reed here coming off of a bye. But I really think that, the only fear here is that we're the Chiefs just all year saying we know we're going to win the Super Bowl. We don't really have to be that good. And now they're going to come out here and then just dominate again. I don't necessarily think I believe that. Like, even when they were like trying to clinch everything at the end of the year, their offense still wasn't right. Why isn't it right? Well, their offensive line is just not the same as it was last year. Mitchell Schwartz, he could play, which I think that would really help. I don't think he's going to play this week, but if they get him back, they've really been missing him. But the offensive line just isn't the same. And there's just been something that's been off with the offense. And the defense still has its issues. And I think that the Browns match up extremely well with this Chiefs defense. Yes, the Browns can run the ball. And the Chiefs are, 31st in the league in EPA per rush. It's not it's a horrible run defense. But I also think the short passing can work against this Chiefs defense. The Chiefs, they blitz a lot. They blitz at the 4th highest rate in the league. They're top 5 in passer rating and completion percentage when they do blitz. Baker Mayfield of late has been just unbelievable. And it's these short passes. It's a lot of scheme. But last week against the Steelers, he was, I think, 14 of 18, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks against the blitz. Since, over the past 10 games, him and Rodgers are number 1 in the NFL on their first read throws, passer rating wise. He's been great. And I think how he's performed against the blitz, and they're rolling him out, and it's all based on play action, and that's how you can move the ball against this Kansas City defense. And but on the other side, so I think that the Browns are going to be able to move it. They get Batonio back, Stefanski will be back. I don't see many ways that this Chiefs defense is going to get many stops. So I think that the Browns can keep up, especially with the way Mayfield is playing. On the other side of the ball, at least you do get Denzel Ward back. He's the lowest completion percentage allowed of any corner of man coverage over the past 3 seasons. But let's not try to put lipstick on a pig. This Browns defense is horrendous. It's so bad. I mean, it's hard to really describe how bad it is. But I'll try. If you remove the 3 heavy win games they played this year, they are the second worst defense in points per drive of any team in the NFL. It's a bottom 5 defense if you remove those 3 win games. And they're very turnover reliant. And you want to really rely on turnovers from Patrick Mahomes? That's not going to get you far. And they really struggle against tight ends. So Ward back can help a little bit, but I don't see how the Chiefs won't score 30, 35, 40. I mean, they should put up their points here. But I think the Browns can match them. And when you're catching 10, that's a lot of points. And you can get a back door, too. So I agree with you. I think the Browns here are the play. There's also – the Chiefs could come out a little rusty here. They did last year after the bye. And they were down 21-0 to the Texans. I mean, yeah, they scored 50 straight. And I guess that could happen again. But teams that rested their starters in Week 17, then had a bye, and then were favorites in this round are 0-5 against the spread the past 10 years. Number 1 and 2 seeds, 27-37-1 against the spread as a favorite since 2003. This year, this round after a bye. So there's, for you trend players, there's something, small sample size that but I do think that they could be a little rusty. The timing could be off. And the timing has just been off in general with this offense. So maybe they come out and they look phenomenal. They turn on the switch. I don't know, but I think this line is way too high. So I completely agree with you. And in regards to the total, if this gets at 55, I think I'll have to play the over. My only concern is, as I said, I think that the Chiefs will get to like 35, 40. I think that the Browns will get to 28, 30 at a minimum. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns win this game. I'm telling you. Is Ravens host AFC Championship game? Let's go. But no, kidding. But not kidding. But in regards to the total, the only thing that scares me about the over is if the Browns approach this 2 ways. Because I love their staff, but they could come out here and just say we're going to run it. They've been throwing a lot on early downs. And we know Mahomes is just going to chuck it. He's going to throw it all over, and that's how you beat the Browns. But they've been passing on early downs. It's been working. But if they're just going to come out here and go heavy with Kareem Hunt revenge game and Nick Chubb, and then just run them, because you can run on Kansas City, control the clock, go slower, keep Mahomes off the field. And then on defense, knowing that your pass defense sucks, drop 8, keep everything in front of you, just kind of – and then, like, Mahomes will take it if you give it to him. Let the Chiefs run it for 4 to 5 yards of play, take the easy passes. And 55, 56, wherever it's at now, is a high number. So that's what's going to probably keep me off the over. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the Browns are the play. It's crazy. I can't believe I'm saying that. Divisional round, Browns are the play at the Chiefs. In 2021. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. But I'm with you on how you kind of broke down the total, because that I was initially kind of going back and forth, because I do have this, or at least I had the total projected about maybe a half point over the market, but I adjusted it down a little bit because I actually do think the Browns will try to come out and execute that exact game plan you talked about, because they won a game 48-37 against the Steelers, but we've seen this happen to the Browns multiple times now. They came out monster first half against Tennessee. What was it, like 35-0 or something like that, 35-7, and that game ends up 41-35. Against Pittsburgh, 28-0, and then Pittsburgh goes on a 37-20 run. So this defense can't afford, even if they get up, they don't want to prolong this game, especially not against Kansas City. Against a team like Pittsburgh, you're okay with that because we saw Big Ben. They're dinking and dunking, and guys are dropping it and can't snap, and they're just more mistake prone. Kansas City, not very turnover prone, not very mistake prone, going to have the time to prepare. It's been proven that you drop back against Mahomes this year. That's how you kind of keep it close. So I do expect Cleveland to execute that. So I'm actually kind of hoping this total continues to climb because I've seen it at 57 at some places. I think we might get one of those ridiculously high totals where could get some value on the under here as the week progresses.
Yeah, I don't know if I have the stones to bet the under, but some of those reasons will keep me off the over. Yeah. Unless it gets down to like 55 or below 55, like 54 and a half, then I think I'd have to jump with Allies. Just based on the success that I think both offenses will have